Before we begin, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because the story you are about to hear might completely change the way you look at the coins sitting quietly in your drawer, your pocket, or that old jar in the garage. Today, we are talking about a coin that most people in South Africa have seen, many have used, and almost everyone has ignored. The South Africa 2 Rand coin from 2016. At first glance, it looks ordinary, familiar, everyday, but sometimes the most ordinary objects carry the most extraordinary secrets. If you are between 35 and 65 or older, this story is especially for you. You understand value. You understand history. You understand what it means to hold something solid in your hand and wonder what it has witnessed over the years. This is not just about money. This is about legacy, about heritage, about the silent power of metal that has traveled through thousands of hands. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine 2016. The world was shifting. Economies were fluctuating. Political conversations were heating up across continents. In South Africa, change was in the air. And right in the middle of all that, millions of 2 Rand coins were minted and released into circulation. Most people spent them without a second thought. A coffee, a newspaper, parking, loose change handed back at a supermarket counter. But collectors, the experienced men who understand that history often hides in plain sight, they looked closer. The 2 Rand coin is not just a piece of metal. It represents the strength of the South African economy, the resilience of its people, and the national identity that has evolved over decades. The design itself carries symbolism. Every curve, every engraving, every detail was carefully chosen. It was not random. It was deliberate. Think about how many coins are produced in a single year. Millions. But here is the truth seasoned collectors know. Not all coins are equal. Even within the same year, the same denomination, there can be differences. Minting variations, rare batches, error strikes, limited distribution releases. These small differences are what separate an everyday coin from a hidden treasure. Now let's talk about condition. Men in our age group understand the importance of condition. A classic car in mint condition is worth exponentially more than one rusting in a field. The same principle applies to coins. A 2016 2 Rand coin that has never truly circulated, that has been preserved, protected from scratches, dents, and corrosion, can tell a completely different financial story than one that has passed through thousands of transactions. But condition is only part of the equation. The year 2016 carries its own significance. Economic pressures were present. Currency values fluctuated. Global commodity markets were unstable. In times of uncertainty, tangible assets gain attention. Gold, silver, rare collectibles, coins. Some 2016 2 Rand coins were kept aside intentionally. Collectors understood that modern coins, especially from specific production runs, could become highly desirable in the future. The South African Mint has a reputation for quality craftsmanship, precision, consistency. Yet even in precision systems, anomalies occur. And anomalies create rarity. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you examined your spare change carefully? Not glanced at it, not tossed it aside, but truly examined it. Under light, with focus, like a man inspecting an engine or evaluating a piece of machinery. Because sometimes, what separates a common coin from a collector's piece is a microscopic detail. A slight misalignment, a doubling of text, a subtle difference in finish. These are not visible to someone in a rush, but they are visible to someone who understands patience. The 2 Rand coin itself is bimetallic. That alone makes it visually distinctive. The contrast between the inner core and the outer ring is not just aesthetic. It reflects modern minting technology. It symbolizes unity within diversity. 2 metals fused into one solid unit, much like a nation built from multiple cultures and histories. For men who appreciate engineering, there is something satisfying about holding a bimetallic coin. It represents technical advancement. It is not as simple as pressing a single sheet of metal. It requires precision bonding, controlled pressure, accurate alignment. Every piece that comes out of the mint is the result of industrial mastery. Now here is where things become interesting. While millions were minted, not all of them survived in perfect condition. Coins were down. They get scratched. They are lost. Some are melted. Some are damaged beyond recognition. Over time, supply decreases, especially of higher-grade examples. Collectors operate on a simple principle. Scarcity plus demand equals value, and demand is not always immediate. Sometimes it grows slowly, quietly, like a storm forming beyond the horizon. In 2016, very few people thought twice about putting aside a 2 Rand coin. It was too recent, too common, too ordinary. But experienced collectors, particularly those who had been in the hobby for decades, knew better. They understood that modern coins can become tomorrow's rarities, especially when certain hidden factors come into play. Let's talk about grading. Professional coin grading changed the game. When a coin is evaluated and certified by experts, its condition is standardized. A high-grade certified coin commands attention in the market. It tells buyers that this is not just someone's opinion. It is verified quality. Imagine a 2016 2 Rand coin preserved straight from the mint. No scratches, no discoloration, perfect luster, perfect strike, encapsulated and graded at a near-perfect score. Suddenly, what was once pocket change becomes a collectible asset, but grading alone is not enough. Story matters. Men between 35 and 65 understand the power of a good story. We grew up hearing stories of rare finds in garages, barns, old safes. Stories of people discovering forgotten items worth fortunes. These stories resonate because they remind us that opportunity does not always announce itself loudly. Sometimes it sits quietly, waiting to be recognized. The 2016 2 Rand coin has a story connected to its era. A period of economic tension, political discourse, national identity. It represents a snapshot of South Africa at a specific moment in time. Coins are time capsules. When you hold one, you are holding a fragment of that year. The metal was shaped then. The design was chosen then. The decision to mint it happened in that historical context. Now imagine decades from now. Imagine collectors looking back at 2016 as a pivotal year. They will want tangible artifacts from that time. They will want coins in exceptional condition. They will want specific variations that may have gone unnoticed by the general public. And here is the reality. Many valuable coins were once considered worthless. There was a time when rare coins were spent freely because no one knew their future significance. Only later did the market wake up. What should you look for in a 2016 South Africa 2 Rand coin? First, examine the surface carefully. Look for unusual textures or minting errors. Second, inspect the alignment between